Good day and welcome to another edition of 0 to Hero in Python Programming. Today we'll continue from where we stopped in the last tutorial, which is reading and writing files in Python. So basically, what we want to do here is create files in Python, write into them, and be able to actually manipulate whatever we have in them. So we'll be creating text files. Actually, they are normal like Word file, PDF, and the likes. We won't work with them here. If you want to work with something like CSV file, that's comma separated variables, you can actually create CSV files from Python. Join our tutorial where we'll be doing statistical analysis and machine learning in Python. But that said, let's move straight to what we are doing today. So basically, there are 3 steps in reading and writing files in Python, which are call the open function, call the read or write method, whichever method you want to use, then make sure you close the file so that you won't corrupt the file. So you open, you read it, or you write into it, or the two, and you close it. So that's basically that. So for example, this is a text file on my system. So I want to open it now. Just to run this algorithm, automatically it is open on my system. So both the open and don't worry, we will treat everything. So basically, we are now reading from the file we opened just now. So we are reading from it. So if you are using a Mac system and you've created your own file, you put your path here and the name of your file, then you open it here. And mind you, it is a text file. A text file. You can easily open it with your notepad or whichever text editor you have installed on your system. So remember, you need to import OS to actually use the operating system library. So we are now reading from the file now. So we are reading it and saving it into hello content. So that's basically that. So we are giving it the variable name now. So when we call the variable name, you see what I saved in my own file is hello Abbas. So now I'm trying to open another file called MobiText. So I've opened that. Then let me read the lines because MobiText has more than one line written in it. So to actually read the content of the file, I will use read lines. So I'll be able to read all the lines in the file. So you can see /n at the end of every line, which means what? The files are saved and they have new lines in them. So that's why it's putting /n. /n is the keyword for new line in Python. So that's that. And same thing here. You can notice, and if you notice, it's not on the last line. So that's that. So you can read what I wrote here. Python allows you to write content in your file and the like. So that's basically what I want to do here. So we are writing into our Python file. So bacon file, open bacon text and the likes like that. So what we are doing here is using this keyword W. If you remember here, we just read the file in, we opened the file and we saved the content into a new variable. But here we are writing into the file. So while opening the file, we put the option of write in it. So that's that on that. So bacon, then we write into bacon file. Now we write hello world into bacon file. So and put /n in front of it, which gives us the length of the variable in bacon file. And mind you, when you use the right option, if you have anything written in bacon file before, it will overwrite it. So that's basically that. So if you use the right option, it will overwrite it. So in case you don't want to overwrite what you have already, you use the A. We use W here, we use A here, which is append. So append we add to what is already in the file, not overwrite what is already in the file. So if I run this now, it will append bacon is not a vegetable to what is here. So the length of everything we have in the bacon file now, that's bacon is not a vegetable plus hello world is now 25, as in each alphabet count is now 25. So when we close it, then we open it again, then we read the content in it. You can see hello world, bacon is not a vegetable. And mind you, I added /n in front of my hello world was why it put my bacon in a new line. If I didn't put /n, it won't put it in a new line. It will just put it directly in front of it. So we are now we want to save variables. If you notice, we've been saving just text and text on our system, and now we want to save variables on our system. So to save variables, we will need this shelf library. So shelf library is basically to save variables on your system. If you are using a Windows system, it will automatically create 3 different files for you. For example, here when I ran my own code, it will give me my data dot back, my data dot that, and my data dot directory. So it's just a way of locating it on your system. So it will create 3 different files. But if you are using OS X or Linux, it will just create just one file. That's my data.db, like something like database, like that. So here we are importing the shelf folder, the shelf module. So you need the shelf module, then shelf.open my data. So we are creating a file called my data. Then we are adding cat, Sophie, poker, and this. We are adding a list to that my data now. So the name of the list is cat, and these are the variables in the list. So we are now saying shelf cat equals cat. So now we are now saying, inside shelf, we want a list called cat, and in that shelf cat, we want to have this list attached to it. So in here, it will save it the way it saves, the way we save in dictionary. So it will be like objects, key value pair. So cat here will now be the key, and this will now be the value. So that's basically that. So that's what we did here. Then we close the shelf file that we just created. So that's what I basically explained here. So for those people who are downloading the tutorial materials from my GitHub repo. So here then we want to open my data now. So we opened it. So shelf.cat. Remember we created cat, which is now like the key here. So we are now calling the key shelf.cat. So it gives us the value, which is Sophie, Puka, and Simon, which we saved there. So then we close it. So we can open it again and say, want to get the key. I told you key value pair the other time, like dictionary. So here is the key value pair now. So we print the key, which is the cat. Then we print the value, which is the list. So you can see you put the list in a list. So like that, you can get what I'm saying like that. So it's because, and that's because we put list here. So we are saying list it out. Probably if we have just called this, it won't have put it in a new list. You can see a list in a list. So it probably would have just been just a single list that we created. So then if we close this now, that's how we close, so that it won't corrupt our files. That's why if you notice we are closing whenever we open. So always put that in mind so that you won't corrupt the files that you created on your system. And here now you remember we did pretty print when we're creating strings in one of our videos. So basically this is how we now can use pretty print format to write on our system. So here is how to do that. So we created under cat. Now we now put dictionaries within the list. So we have 2 dictionaries within this list. So pretty print format. So we did that. So it gives us the pretty print format of what we've done. Then we open my cat.py. That's like creating a file on our system. Call it my cat. So we now want to write into it. I don't know if you get it like that. We created a Python file on our system called my cat.py. Then we are writing into it at the same time. So what we are now writing into it is cat plus equals pretty print p. So something like this. We're just writing what we have here into this into this my cat.py file, and we are calling it, we are now adding this variable to it. That's my cat equals, you can see something like just string manipulation here. We just added this string, like append this string, which is what we have here, to my cat. So if we run this now, to give us the number of variables the number of alphabets we have in the my cat.py file. So we can close it. Then now we now import my cat. That's like creating a module. If you remember when we were creating how to create modules in Python, that's like creating a module now. So we are now importing it. And now when we imported my cat, we are now saying my cat.cat. So this, the cats that we saved the other time. So my cat.cat, it will now give us exactly what is here. So if we run this now, you can see it's giving us exactly what is here. But if you don't attach this to it, mind you, if you don't attach this to it, you won't be able to call exactly what is inside the file, because what we have does not have a variable name. Something like you are calling everything inside the file. So that's that on that. So now we can now start manipulating and say, okay, we want the first dictionary, then we want the name in the first dictionary. So name in the first dictionary is Sophie. So it's just something like you call the first variable in a list, then you are now calling the key you are calling the key value pair, which is, we are now calling the name, which will now give you the value, which is Sophie here. So that's basically that. So here is the project we'll lay our hands on. So basically, we want to create you are a teacher you are a geography teacher in a school. You want to create a file for your students. Like, probably you are preparing their exams, and all you did for the whole semester is the states and capital of United States. That is, each state and their capitals in the United States. So the only way you can actually test their knowledge is on what you've taught them. So here you now want to give them exams, 50 questions exam based on what you've taught them. So you now want to give them, okay, what is the capital of this state? What is the capital of that state? And you don't want to start creating, you don't want them to have the same questions, and at the same time you want you want to create a multiple choice question. So this is how you go about this. So you create the 36 different, you want to create 35 different quizzes. Create 30 multiple questions in each quiz. So you have 35 students in your class. You want to create 50 questions for them. Then provide the correct answer and 3 random answers. That is, for each state. Now, each state has its own capital. So you want to give it and that 3 random answers. So they have like 3 states. A state. In the options, they have the capital and 3 other capitals that are not the capital of that state. Then you are writing a quiz of 35 text files. Write the answer keys to 35 text files. That's, you have the answer key. Okay, you create the question now. It won't be nice that you now have to read through each question to create the answer. So you create the answer to each question. Then you store the answers in a separate file with a label that, okay, the solution to the problem for the first candidate is this. Solution to this, because the questions are random. So it is different for each student. So you call open, write, and close for the quiz and answer the text file. Then you shuffle the order randomly. That's the question, multiple choice question, and the multiple choice options. So that's that. So the steps to create this are basically what we've written here now. So you have to break down your problem. The first thing is, okay, you have to list out the states and their capital in a dictionary, which is exactly what I've done here, so that you can see everything on your screen right now. So let me just drop these things down like this. So here are the states and capital. So this is Alabama, and then the capital is Montgomery. Alaska, the capital is Juneau, and Arizona, the capital is Phoenix. Like that for all the states and capitals in the United States. So now, the quiz is, you want to create 35 questions. That's the range you are writing here. Then you are saying, quiz file, open capital quiz. This string here is just to give it a number, which is the number you might have here or not. So you are saying, create capital quiz 1, for example, then the quiz 2, then the quiz 3, and the likes like that. Then quiz number plus 1. So that's quiz number plus 1. That's W here. So basically what we are saying is quiz number plus 1. So that's 0 plus 1. Python start counting from 0. So 0 plus 1, which is 1. Then 1 plus 1, which is 2, like that. Then the answer key. Then you create the text file for the answer. The same thing, 0 plus 1 to give it, okay, for capital quiz 1, then we have capital quiz answer 1. So for the solution to the quiz for that particular student. Then we have another one here. So create a period here, give the name of the person, then a new line. Then new line, that is create a space, like enter after the new line. So you are creating space between date and name. Then you create another line called name. Then you create another line called period. Then say quiz.write, so times 20 plus state capital quiz form. So you are just basically stating, okay, quiz, for example, the first one will be 1 times 20, that's 20 state capital quiz form 1. That's basically what you are writing here. Then you write your file here. That's another line now. They are now saying state list capital key. So here you are now bringing the list of all, you are creating a list of all the states. Then you are creating another one of all, then you are shuffling the states now. After shuffling the states, which is like the 50 states, then you look through all the 50 states, making question for each. So instead of you having, for the first state now, saying the correct answer equals capital state question. So something like you are now saying, okay, the correct answer for this particular capital, which you are getting from the list, you can see question number in range 1 to 50. So you are seeing question numbers are the number to that particular. For example, question number 1 will be the first state here, and it will now pick the capital for that particular state from our dictionary, like key value pair now. Then generate wrong answers, that is list of capital values. Then delete wrong answer, index correct answer. Then wrong answer, random sample. So we are now generating 3 wrong answers. So we are deleting the right answer from the list of our state capitals. Then we are now generating 3 of those wrong answers. Then answer options, we are now adding the 3 to the 3 wrong answers. Now we are adding 1 correct answer, which is the correct answer, obviously. Then we are now randomly shuffling our answer options. So we won't have all the answers to be probably option D. So we are shuffling that. Then the next step is to write the question and answer option of the quiz file. So here is now the quiz file now. Then we are writing, okay, this question number, what is the capital of the state now? Then we are saying quiz number and state. Let me just bring this one back up here. Okay, the reason why I brought it down before was because it was spreading to the next line. So we now put in, okay, question number will be what is here. Then the state number will be what is here. This is basically string manipulation in Python. In case you don't understand that, go back to our string tutorial to brush up on your string manipulation in Python. Then for I in range 4, that is for what's it called now? The options in range 4, then quiz.write. So basically we are writing the quiz options for each of, we generated 4 options. So we are now adding it to our question now. So, and we are putting them on separate lines. So that's basically that there. The wrong answer file.write. So we're now creating, okay, for question number 1, give us the right answer. Question number 2, give us the right answer. So you can easily, probably you've written, if you are in Nigeria, probably you've written PostUTME for OAU before. This is like a way of generating all those questions you guys answer on OAU PostUTME. This is like a way of generating it on your own. So basically, we are now creating 2 files. We are creating the quiz file and we are creating the answer files. So if we run this now, it will take some time to run, and because my system is a little faster, it has created the file. So if I go back to my files here now, and okay, this is my YouTube folder, you can see it automatically created the files for me. You can see from here, let me minimize this screen for you. You can see this, okay, the first quiz answer. You can see the quiz answers are automatically generated in the text file. So if you go to the quiz question now, which will be the quiz capital square. Okay, if I open this file, you can see the way the name of the person, then you can see we put /n twice here, then we have a space, a line here, then the date, same thing, then the period. So state capital quiz from 1. So the quiz, capital is Ohio, Carson City. So if we check the answer now, we go back to our files. Yeah. Okay, let me minimize this. Go back to our files and we open the answers file for the first one. So answer for the first one. So if you see this and I open the question, so let me just bring them side by side. So question number 1, the option B is the right answer. So the capital of Ohio is boys. The capital of West Virginia is Charleston. The capital of Vermont is, Montpelier. I'm not in the United States, so sorry if I pronounced it the wrong way. So if you check another question, if you check answers to the second quiz too, you will see they are separate, they are different. You can see question number 1A is C, question number 1A is B, like that. And if you check the questions too, they will be different because we've randomized the arrangement of the questions and the answer. So it will be different for each person. So nobody can copy from the other person in the exam hall. So now it is where we are coming to the end of this tutorial. I know this tutorial is a little long, but we need to explain everything we've done. So here you can now do your own assignment, which is regex search, write a program that opens all text files in the folder you are in and search for any line that matches a user supplied regular expression. The results should be printed on the screen. So basically what you are doing is you are checking all the text files on your system and you've written a regular expression. For example, you are searching for a particular regular expression. If you don't understand what I mean by regular expression, go back to our regular expression tutorial and check. And that particular regular expression, probably you are looking for a word that starts with a capital letter, or you are looking for a phone number. So it checks all the text files in that particular folder and prints out all the phone numbers, for example, in that particular folder. So thank you and see you in the next tutorial. And don't forget to subscribe, and please make sure you push your assignment to your GitHub repo and post the link to your repo in the comment section below. See you in the next class and remain blessed. Thank you.